Hey, you guys, this is Rhonda. How are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel, Uncut and Raw. I am here back with another video to be maybe a little bit controversial with you guys. I am just trying to clear the air, get some, get some things understood. And what it is, this, and why I say controversy is because this topic and subject will cause controversy. I've been pushed and compelled once, not twice, maybe 3 or 4 times to get this message out, basically. So what I'm gonna do is because I had to just write the message first. I'm gonna read it and then I'll give my own commentary about it, and then I'm gonna leave room for you guys for your commentary and opinions. I actually want to start kind of like a poll to get real true opinions. What do you think? Okay. Or what the spirit tell you, or what is it? So here we go. This story is Jonah and the whale. This is an all familiar story. Everybody knows the story, right? So, this is the story of Jonah's blatant disrespect to the Most High as a chosen. Jonah, Jonah was a chosen one. No one can deny that. This is the conversation and poll for all of us to get involved. So, with Jonah was instructed by God to go to a city called Nineveh to let the people know if they didn't stop the wickedness that was going on in the city, that God will come and destroy the city. Jonah got scared and basically blatantly said, no, I'm not going. I'm not going to no city to tell people what you said. Like, he literally was blatantly, disrespectfully, flat out, no, I'm not going. And as I said, Jonah got scared, but instead of him going to the Lord and saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable, or I'm afraid, or I'm scared, or whatever the case, he just flat out said no. Jonah goes, he got scared, and he began to just go and do whatever it is that he wanted to do. So when Jonah made the decision to be disobedient, I feel like the Lord judged Jonah in that instant, in that moment. The Lord judged Jonah immediately and sentenced him to death by drowning, right? Now, here's where the controversy come in. Now, what if after the Lord then sentenced Jonah to death by drowning and had these men from this ship throw Jonah into the ocean? Well, what if at the time of Jonah's judgment, lurky ass Satan saw an opportunity to get a hold of a chosen being, seeing as he is always, seeing as Satan is always going to and fro, seeking whom he may devour. And just like Job, Satan asked God for Jonah to do what he will with him. And because Satan is a dang good lawyer, he was able to make some kind of deal with Jonah. Listen, Jonah was special, okay? Especially if God chose him. Satan knew that. It was in it, whatever made Jonah so special, it was in his DNA. This is something he was born with. If God chose him to do something for him, Jonah had something special in his blood, in his DNA. So Satan is the one that had, hold on, y'all. Satan is the one that had Jonah swallowed up by the whale and waited 3 days until Jonah was exhausted and mentally drained before he can approach him in the whale with an offer. With a soul stealing offer, with a soul grabbing offer. Jonah was extremely hungry and delirious. He's in this well for 3 days. He's pretty much fasting. He's not eating nothing. I know he's not eating what's on the whale's tongue. I know he's not. So at this point, he's extremely hungry and extremely delirious, and I don't think he cared how he got out of the well. Because even with prayer, the Lord wasn't letting him out the well. Like, I'm not going to answer your prayer because you disobeyed me, and you blatantly disobeyed me. This is what I'm thinking that the Lord is saying. So, like I said, Satan took an opportunity to grab him a chosen one. Okay? So, he was extremely hungry and delirious, and he didn't care how he got out of there well. Jonah then took a deal that Satan offered him and sold his soul to the devil. That was the day the Lord took his hand off of Jonah, and Satan held the reins. Satan held the reins of a chosen. Now, Satan made Jonah believe he was still under the protection of the Most High. He had to. For him to come out of the well and then go to Nineveh, why would you do that? I feel like Jonah messed that up. So, because Satan is able to manipulate and control Jonah at this time, Satan could have made Jonah think anything. Jonah ended up going to Nineveh anyway, thinking he was still under the protection of the Most High. And for him, he felt bad. Like, Jonah must have felt bad. And I think he was only feeling bad because you're no longer under that protection. So, yes, you're going to feel bad. You're going to feel every type of way. You're going to feel the anger of God. God is not going to answer you when you pray to him. Like, stuff like that. Like, I know Jonah felt that, and it had to be real bad in his spirit. So he ended up, like I said, Jonah thought he was still under the protection. Satan had him thinking that, remind you, Jonah just came out of a well, hadn't eaten in 3 days, and he's delirious, right? Jonah was feeling bad about his encounter with the Most High. He thought he would go and complete the mission, but it was definitely too late. The Most High cut Jonah off and sent him through karma until who knows when. Right? The Lord starts sending Jonah through karmic cycles until maybe he was tired. But, everybody know that time is an illusion. We really don't know how long the Lord had Jonah in there. Well, he could have had him in there for 3 years, 3 months. Okay? But here's the controversial part. Do you think, and like I said, I'm going to put a poll up. Do you think that the moment Jonah blatantly told God, no, I'm not going to do that for you, do you think the Lord immediately judged him and sentenced him to a death by drowning? And like I said, like, Satan actually found an opportunity, or got an opportunity, because he's so nosy and he see what's going on in the world. He's going to and fro. He's trying to see who he can and cannot devour. Satan knew Jonah was a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that Satan took that opportunity to grab him a chosen soul? I mean, it would make sense to me. Satan is very tricky. He comes as an angel of light. Like, he does a whole lot of different things to knock you off your path. And then if you are, the Lord, you know who he is, you know he's real, so you can't sit up here and say, oh, well, Satan made me do it. No. Jonah knew who God was. Jonah knows, he knows who God is. You know what I mean? Like, back then, it was, you couldn't tell nobody that God wasn't real. You couldn't tell nobody that God didn't exist. Because God was more oftenly showing his hand more often than normal back then. And it was clear who God was back then. So Jonah took what he knew about God and blatantly disrespected it, and through the fact that he got chosen by God, back in his face. And God said, oh, okay, well, I'm done with that. I'm not going to deal with that no more. And say, like I said, I think Satan literally found an opportunity to use Jonah for whatever he wanted to use him for. And God allowed it, just like he did with Job. I mean, this is the poll. This is the question. And I know it might even sound blasphemous, but it's a legit question. If you think about it. I mean, you know how tricky Satan can be. You know that God literally will have conversations with Satan and talk to him. God gives orders to Satan. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I just want to hear what everybody else's opinion is about it. And like I said, it might sound blasphemous, and I'm not trying to be blaspheming the Lord, but it's a legit question. God didn't see nothing wrong with me asking a question. He actually wants me to ask questions like this. If you want to be technical, like, he literally wants me to ask questions like this. Because, again, the Bible is full of stories that amplify the Lord and that helps us to, understand him more. Right? So plus what Spirit tells us. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, but I just wanted to put that out there and see, what do you guys think? So yeah, let me know what you think. And thank you again for the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. And I don't. Okay, so whenever you do leave your commentary, don't be disrespectful. Okay, because it's just a question. It's a legit question, and it's a conversation. Let's have one. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye bye.